Top right hand corner, it's Team GP's Prince. And the top left from Alpha X, he's already 2-0. It's RAGNAROK. And look at that probe already out on the map. Prince, I said it, he's got to have something up his sleeve. There's no way you play a standard macro game against RAGNAROK. This guy took down Hero. This guy has beaten the top players in Korea. He is currently on a rampage. For now, just the hatchery block. Is it going to be 2 base? What is the plan? And honestly, I said it, no offense to Prince. I know that Prince could play a very, very convincing macro game here against RAGNAROK, but I feel like that is not your best chance to win. To be completely honest, I don't think that is the best chance to win. Because, God, just, RAGNAROK's so good. He's beaten Creator, he's beaten Hero. I mean, that's top 2 Protoss in Korea right now. So what is there? Spawning pool on the way, of course, for RAGNAROK has taken that second hatchery at the 3rd base location. It is not ideal, but Zergs are used to this. They have dealt with this quite a bit. And so far, it's just fairly standard from Prince. Nothing crazy. His Nexus is going down at a good time. Gateway into Cybercore. And Stargazers. Of course, this map can be wild. We have seen some insane games on Stargazers. You've seen insane plays with Nidus Worms into the pocket expansions that are so hard to get to if your defense is set up at the bottom side of the map. We've seen gold bases that have one player's games on this map when they've taken them and they haven't been scouted. This map has a lot of stuff. It has a lot of things that can happen in it. There's a lot of interactivity. There's a lot. It's just, it's a really good map. It's a really good map. I like it a lot, to be honest. But we'll see. Prince going for the Stargate. Stargate obviously is pretty good with the pocket expansions. Obviously, it just means that there's a bit of extra space for that Oracle to work with that the Queens can't really get to, especially with the Zerg not taking that base very early. Usually, Zergs do just end up going for their regular 3 bases, and then they end up following that up with eventually taking a pocket expansion later in the game. And the main reason being that pocket expansion, it's kind of the same thought process that I shared earlier. I forget which series it was. It might have been Prince versus versus Astrea. But if you save that pocket base, you know that those are guaranteed minerals that you'll be able to mine later in the game. It's 100% certain because it's so safe. And so if you take up other bases first, those minerals that are harder to take later, that are harder to keep, especially those bases later in the game. If you take those earlier, then you have safer expansions later on in the game with the pocket. We actually see a Void Ray coming out here for Prince out of this Stargate. The Void Ray is definitely lost its popularity. It has been, it's a unit that in PvZ has its place for defending early. You know, for defending especially these early 3rd bases, you know, sub 4 minutes. That's where the use of the Void Ray is, and so it looks like that's what Prince is going to use it for. Also cleaning up the Overlords around the map. But we've seen a lot of players, of course, go into Phoenixes to do that instead. Similar to Prince, he likes this. Oracle is going to follow, though, so it's just going to kind of dart around the vision crate. Oh, no, Prince! No, you can't let that happen. Zerglings now into the main base. They're going to look to try and be just a little bit annoying. Force probes off the line. As the Oracle dives on in, again, no knowledge of this happening ahead of time here for RAGNAROK. Prince did clean it up, but it loses the Oracle. And only 5 drones go down. At the same time, Prince, oh no, all those probes. Oh, Prince needs to pull him back. I don't think he has yet. I don't think Prince has been paying attention. He's going to try and knock down another drone, and he gets it. But this is sketchy. I mean, 6 drones go down, but you lose the Oracle, you lose mining time. Looks like the probes are finally sent back, but I mean, that was a solid 30 seconds where you had 5 or so probes not mining, and now these depths. Trying to shade on in. I don't know, maybe Prince here trying to force out a large reaction. Is he going to complete the shade? Yes, he is. going straight up into the main, but there's already Zerglings there. Recall has to be popped, but you're gonna lose most all of the Adepts, and Prince, you're trying to be aggressive here. I just don't know if it's working. Stasis Ward is going to get denied, triggered by just a single drone. RAGNAROK has collected himself, and he is on top of this defense right now. A bit risky there to try and dive into any of these bases here for RAGNAROK. Can't necessarily find any success with these run-bys. Forge and Twilight Council on the way for Prince. Roach Warren and Spire to match for RAGNAROK. I mean, Mutalisks would be really good. Mutalisks feel like they would be really good in this game. I don't know what anti-air options Prince is really going to have unless he gets into Phoenix, but even then, there's no indication of this unless a hallucinated Oracle goes across the map, or even a hallucinated Phoenix. You need some inkling. And of course, behind this RAGNAROK, he's going to build up some roaches. He's going to get up a strong ground army and try to convey as little as possible that this is what he's going, that this is going to be an option for him. Stasis Sword again, going to be denied. His fourth base is coming down for Prince, and RAGNAROK not quite saving up money just yet for any Mutalisks. Might go into 3 or 4, and we do see this sometimes where players will just add on a few Mutalisks for harassment to try and be annoying against their opponents. Prince, like this, full wall up at the bottom side of this fourth base. And well, 7 mutas on the way. So a bit more than I thought. RAGNAROK able to bank up quite a few resources in that little time that he did. His Archon's on the way, +1 in charge for Prince, additional gateways. But again, there's just no knowledge about these Mutalisks. There's no information for him. And this can get really dangerous. It's a Void Ray. That's what the response is. Obviously, Stalkers can be warped in, and against 7 Mutalisks, that's not a super bad response. 5 Stalkers or so could probably end up dealing with them pretty easily. The issue is, are they going to find damage? Is they're immediately going to dive on into the main base? And enough of them that they pretty much one-shot these probes, as already we're going to see a lot go down. 5, 8 are going to end up falling to the glaives of the Mutalisks. Stalker's going to be warped in. I mean, they'll be able to push it back, but 13 probes already lost. And Prince is just pulling the trigger. He says, listen, I got Immortals, I got Archons. Traps a few Ravagers as well, but it's 170 supply for RAGNAROK. I don't know, Prince. This does not look good. He's going to be able to knock down the 5th base on the bottom side of the map. Oracle is trying its best to be a nuisance. The army supply is 74 to 104. The Zealots here are going to get cleaned up and now pushing in the front. Corrosive Bile is going to knock down the shields of some of these Immortals. The Archons absolutely doing wonders, but now the Immortals, they need to get saved. Where's the pickups? The one not going to be juggled back in time, as the Mutalisks are now brought on over, and this army is just not enough for Prince and the macro game. I mean, RAGNAROK's just too good. He cleans it all up. And Prince is in shambles right now. 171 supplied to 96. There is not enough of a response here for Prince. He's working at 58 workers. He's working on, 4 bases, but even then, the production that he has is not enough. RAGNAROK, he's going to go across the map, and I think for RAGNAROK, this is going to be the 3-0. This is going to be the clean sweep for RAGNAROK. Able to knock down every single opponent that was thrown against him. Able to save Alpha X here in this series and do absolute magic, as these roaches, a lot of splash damage is getting taken from that Archon, but it doesn't matter. GG. RAGNAROK, he feels good about that, and he absolutely should. Continuing his 10-game win streak. He has not dropped a series in 10 series. And count that as another best of 5. Man,